Hi everyone. So my name is Saoirse Duggan. Today I'm taking the button accordion class. I'm from the Letterkenny Kiltus, and I'd be a good supporter and friend of this Kiltus band here. So today we're going to hopefully get through two tunes within the hour. The first tune is a reel. It's called Garret. I'm not too sure where I got this tune. It might have been, I might have heard it on radio or something like that. But it's a well enough known tune, heard in sessions and stuff. So hopefully, whenever we're back playing sessions, we can play this tune. So as I said, it's a reel. So we'll give it a go anyway. I'll play it a couple of times through first, and then we'll break it down bar by bar, and we'll look at ornamentation and stuff like that. Okay, so that was the tune there. Tried a couple of times through, so I suppose we'll break it down. Just trying to put the notes up here. So we'll break it down into a couple of. So we'll try the first two bars, maybe up the first part. So you're starting on G there, and you can do a wee cut if you want. So starting on G. 1, 2. Yep, so we'll try it again. 1, 2. Yep, and one more time. Yep, lovely. So on to the third bar then. Not much difference here. So yeah, so again. And one more time. Lovely. So we'll just take the first three bars on the first line there. So starting on G again, a wee cut on the G. 1, 2. Yeah, lovely. Try it again. 1, 2. Yep, and one more time before we move on. Okay, so we'll take the next bar 4 and 5. Starting on A. 1, 2. first bar there we're doing, and then that wee BA in the second bar is like a wee link up to the G. So we'll give that another go. 1, 2. Yep, and one more time. 1, 2. Yep, lovely. And then the last bar on that line. Again. Lovely. And one more time. Okay, so we'll try the second line all together now. So bar 4, 5, and 6, starting on A, B, G, E, D. Try it again. 1, 2. Yep, and one more time. Yep, lovely. So if we look at the last 2 bars now, we'll take the first bar first of all. So starting on E, D, B, A. 3, 4. Yep, and again. And one more time. Yeah, and the last bar, starting on G. So there's a wee triplet there, so when you're playing triplets and tunes, you want to make sure that you're nailing them, A, B, C, and not coming out with maybe like or something like along those lines. So nice and clear. So we'll take the last bar with the wee triplet parts. So 3, 4. And again. And one more time. So that's the first part. Nothing too difficult now coming up there. You can do your cut on your G's. Just looking at the notes here. Just nail those ABCs. ABC triplet. Sometimes I would. Is it in the first part I do? You can just do an octave down to the high G. So just different things like that. So we'll play the first part a couple of times through. Anyway, so all the bars together. So if you want to start off, we link up BA. So we'll start on BA. So 3, 4. Okay, so that's the first part done. We'll try it a couple of more times just before we move on to the second part to get into the swing of things. So we'll do the first part again a couple of more times around. Starting on BA. Okay, so 3, 4. Okay, so that's the first part done. Nothing too difficult. So there I was putting in, so we're so I was just going down to the low octave, so G, normal G, down to the low G and back to normal G. So you could just put that in as a variation instead of doing cuts all the time, because it just sounds a bit repetitive. So you can go down to the octave, or you can do hold the two together. So that's G and high G, hold it together. But I like so that's really nice. So if you put it in like so that's just on the third bar on the first line. So G, B, D, B, G. So instead of just holding that G, a plain G or a cut, you could just do G down to the low octave. So if we want to just play the first, we'll play the first line and include that G down to the low G, the low octave. So we'll play the first line 2 or 3 times and we'll include that as well. Okay, so 3, 4. I might have did the fourth bar there, but okay. So we'll try that again. 3, 4. Lovely. And one more time. Lovely. So that's the first part anyway. So we'll move on to the second part now. So I'd usually do another cut there. Right, so we'll take the first 2 bars. So starting on G, you can start on a cut. So you're just doing the F onto the G like a flick. Okay, so we'll start on that. 3, 4. Again. Lovely, and one more time. And then the third bar. Again. One more time. Now sometimes I would do a wee triplet there, so like the ABC in the first part, I would go G, F, G, A really flat. So instead of GFE or GFA, sorry, so instead of just I'm doing G, F, G, A. So we're just putting in a G there. So it's a triplet. Just enhances the tune more and advances, on to the next level. So if you were doing it there, if you played the first line and you add in that triplet, so it sounds something like. Now you don't have to do that, you can just do. But I like that there, it sounds really nice, so we'll just add that in as well, and if you want to leave it out you can. So we'll try the first line a couple of times, and we'll try that triplet as well. So it's just G. It's just G, F, G, A. So the triplet part is F, G, A really fast. So F, G, A. So you're just doing G and then F, G, A. Just like the ABC in the first part, the ABC triplet. So you want to get them nice and crisp. So we'll try the first line, and we'll add in that triplet as well, okay? So yep, one more time. And one more time before we move on. Lovely. So we'll look at bar 4 on the second line now. So you start on E. Just E, A, G, A. Yep. And then on to the next one. That's just another link up. Yeah, so you have the G roll in this one. So it's so we're on, what bar are we on here? Bar 5. So you're starting on G, A, B, G roll, A, G, E, G. So again. And one more time. And once more. Lovely. So if we take the bar 4 and 5, so it's the second line, starting on E, A, A. Ready? 3, 4. Lovely. And one more time. And once more before we move on. Lovely. So on the third line now, we're on bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bar 6 now. So starting on D, B, B. Again. And one more time. Lovely. And the next bar, E, D, B, A, B, D, E, E, F. So 3, 4. One more time. So if you put them two together now, starting on D, B, B. 3, 4. Yep, and then last line. So again, the triplet. You want to make sure they're nice and crisp now so they stand out in the playing. So last line. End on G. So and one more time. Lovely. So that's the second part. Nothing too major. So you just have that wee triplet I added in bar 3. Your G roll, and that's basically it. So if we'll play the second part a couple of times around now, and then we'll add them together. So starting on G, 3, 4. So you don't have to do that triplet there if you don't want. And when I was going back in to play the second half again, so the last line is so I was just doing low G, high G. Again, just as a variation to the cut. But it's up to you personally what you want to do as a player. You know, make it's important to make tunes your own. You know, because I think I picked this up maybe a fiddle or a flute player I heard playing this, and obviously flute players are going to be doing different stuff, maybe different rules in different places. So it's important to make tunes your own. So we've included cuts here, we've included rolls, we've included down to the low octave and stuff. You don't have to put them all in, you can just play a few of them whenever you want. It doesn't have to be every time I play them. So I think it's important that you know, after you've learned a tune from someone, to go away and put your own mark on it. You know, Finbar Dwyer was a great man for that, putting his what would you call it, his own stamp on tunes. I'm not saying going away and change the tune, just think about ornamentation, different stuff, where you want to put it in as a player. Not all players feel comfortable putting it in certain places. You might not want to do a G roll there, you know, but I'm just telling you what I play, so you can take that on board. Great, play the same thing, or just do what you want. That's fine as well. So we'll try the tune anyway now. We'll try it all together now. We'll play it a couple of times around slowly, and then we'll pick up the speed then. So starting on BAG. Okay, so 3, 4. I just ended there, so instead of ABC, I just went so A-D-B-A-G. Lovely. So that's the tune anyway. Hopefully we'll be back playing music soon. Because it's very strange. Being stuck at home and just, because that's what music's all about. Playing with other people, sharing your tunes, meeting people. Obviously it's going to be very hard if you can't do that. But hopefully we'll be back soon, and I think it's important as well, to use this time to build up your repertoire of tunes and practice. It may be hard some days. I know myself. It's some days I try to practice every day, but some days you just couldn't be bothered in lockdown. But you have to just use this time now that you have to improve on the accordion and build up your repertoire of tunes, and you'll be able to play more in sessions then. So I suppose that would be the main focus of it. So we'll play this tune once again. We'll speed it up a wee bit this time, and then we'll move on to another tune. Okay? So B-A-G. 3, 4. Lovely, so it's not a bad wee tune. Nice swing bit. So that's Garret Barry's Reel. Right, so we'll move on. We'll do a different tune type now. We'll do a jig this time. The name of the jig is Rooneys Favourite. It's a composition of Paddy Hayes. He was a box player, originally from Wexford, if I'm right. I think he moved to London maybe then, and eventually he settled in Kiltyclogher in County Leitrim. So he was an accordion player now. He died not that long ago, last year maybe. So this tune he wrote this tune, Rooneys Favourite. He named it after his friend, I think it's Brian Rooney. No, I could be wrong. Brian Rooney. I think his name is Brian Rooney. He's a fiddler. Also living in the Kiltyclogher area of Leitrim. I think they might have been friends in London. So Rooneys Favourite jig, composition of Paddy Hayes, named after Brian Rooney, the fiddler. So this tune's composed by a box player, so suited to the box. Nice tune on the box. I heard this one. I got this tune off Dahi Gormley. I heard him playing it on Facebook Live. Many of the Facebook Lives that have been up during lockdown. He was playing this tune in it. So I picked it up and learned it. It's a lovely tune and sounds lovely on the box. And he plays it lovely. Dahi himself. He'd be a big influence of mine on the box. So I think it's really important as well that you're listening to players. It's important that you develop your own style, but you need to be listening to great players. Dahi Gormley. There's so many good players out there. Dahi Gormley, Michael Curran, Finbar Dwyer, all the greats. There's so many good players. It's important to listen to them as well. So we'll give this tune a go anyway. So Rooneys Favourite, composed by Paddy Hayes. I'll play it a couple of times through first, and then we'll, again, like the reel, we'll break it down into bits. So it's a lovely tune for the box. Lovely. So we'll give it a go anyway. A few low notes. Few things. I'll point them out when we come to them. So we'll start with the first bar. So you're starting on E, just as a link up note. Let's try that again. 1, 2. One more time. Yep, and then the next thing. So just a note here, D, E, D. So we're going to use the outside E. So outside E, not so just on the outside row, just directly across from the D. So we're going to use that E all the time. It just helps with the flow of the tune. Instead of going in, out, it's not very good on the bellows. So if you're just doing it on the outside, it's all the one way. So that's low C and low A. C natural, so C on the inside. C push on the D. So second bar again. So just remember that we're playing the outside E on the outside row for this. Lovely. So we'll take the first two bars now. So 1, 2. Lovely. One more time. And one more time. Lovely. So we'll start on the third Bar now. Starting on a low C. And that's a low G as well, so C natural. Holding the C. Sorry. Yep, so holding the C. One more time. Yep, and then the fourth bar. Yep. One more time. Lovely. So we'll try the first 4 bars, and just remembering that the E, D, E, D, D, and the second bar is the E on the outside row. Okay, so starting on E, D. 1, 2. Lovely. So we'll try that again. 1, 2. Lovely. And once more. Lovely, and not much difference. The third line is just the same as the first line. So once again. Yeah, and then the last line. So, C, yeah. So starting on low C. Again, you're using your outside E. So on the last bar. So and one more time. Lovely. So that's the first half. Now just that outside E takes a wee bit to get used to, but if you practice it, it should be no problem. So we'll try the first half a couple of times now. Starting on E, D. 1, 2. Lovely. So we'll move on to the second part now. So you're starting on. So we'll just take the first bar. So starting on A, low A. So again. Okay, and then the second bar. It's a D roll, so again. And one more time. So let's put the first 2 bars together, starting on low A. 1, 2. so again. And one more time. Third bar, starting on low C, E, G, and a C roll. So again. And one more time. And the next bar, E, D, C, A, G, E. One more time. So if we put all 4 bars together now. 1, 2. Once again. And one more time. Lovely, so moving on to the next one. Next bar, third line, D, F, E, D, F, A, D, F, E. So it's just the same thing again. And the next bar, D, C sharp. So C sharp, that's the first C sharp in the tune. So that's the only C sharp. Any other C's are C natural. C sharp on the outside row. So okay, so and once more. Lovely. So if we put the third line all together now, starting on D, F, A. 1, 2. Lovely, and once more. Lovely, so if we put everything in the second part up to that point, so the first 3 lines starting on low A. 1, 2. And the last 2 bars. Again, using your outside E on the last bar. So and once more. Lovely. So if we try the second part a couple of times. Starting on low A. 1, 2. Okay, so sometimes as a variation, again, from the previous tune when I was talking about the low octave, sometimes you'd hear instead of the D roll and the C roll. So in the second bar, when there's a D roll, I just do. So it sounds like. instead of just doing the D roll, you're just doing high D, low D, high D. And just in place of the D roll, and the same with the C. So I wouldn't do that every time, but I do it sometimes just to mix up from the rolls. It's a nice wee touch to put in. So if we try the tune all together now at a nice slow speed, we'll play it a couple of times through and then we'll speed it up. So just remember the outside E's and the rolls, and that's it. And the only C sharp in the tune is in the second last line of the second part. So give it a go anyway, starting on E. So 1, 2. Lovely, so that's a lovely wee jig. I never heard that jig before played ever, until I heard Dahi Gormley playing it on Facebook. It's probably a big enough tune around Leitrim area, but I haven't heard it up around this neck of the woods. So it is a lovely tune. There's some nice stuff going on. So we'll play the tune at a wee bit faster speed now, maybe. And you can add in the the low octaves, the D rolls, the stuff like that there. Yeah, so we'll give it a go anyway. It's 2 or 3 times anyway. Starting on E. 1, 2. Okay, so that's the tune. I was just ending on that D low A chord, so just holding the D and the low A together. So it's a nice way to end tunes in D, I suppose. So if you take the last line, just a wee simple thing. So just something you can add in if you want. So just the D and the low A together, give you that chord. So that's the tune anyway. Hopefully we'll be back playing sooner rather than later. Because it's not good for musicians all this time apart from each other. The festivals and the flags and stuff, it's not the same, but sure, it's out of our hands, we can't control it. So we can just hope that we're back soon enough playing tunes and doing the stuff we love. It's been a hard time for everyone, but if you can take a positive from today, you've learnt 2 more tunes, and that's 2 extra tunes you can play in a session now. So that's basically it. Sure, if we play the tune, we'll give the reel another go. There's about 5 minutes left here. We'll play the reel one more time at a nice speed, just to refresh our memories after doing that jig. So we'll do the wee reel, Garret Barry's reel. Okay, so 3, 4. Garret Barry's Reel. Lovely tune. It's a lovely tune, right? And the jig, Rooneys Favourite. So listen, anyone thanks to anyone that tuned in and listened to me play these tunes, teach these tunes. Got the accordion and run out of the house anyway, hasn't been out in a while. But it's just the best we can do in times. So just thank yous for listening, and hopefully you can take away something from today. Learn the tunes, don't learn the tunes, whatever you want. But they're lovely tunes, I must say. Maybe I'm being a bit biased here, picking favourite tunes of mine, but especially that jig, it's a lovely jig. Composed by a box player as well, so it'd be lovely to learn. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in, and it was lovely. Thank you.